The Scuba is the only real diving car in the world. We are building exciting concept cars to illustrate the future of mobility.
Frank founded his company Rinspeed 42 years ago and has dedicated his professional life to creating extraordinary concept cars. But there's one that stands out from the crowd.
We built the Scuba some 12 years ago, but still today it's our icon. It's the most sought after vehicle for film, for photos, and that's probably the biggest milestone in our history.
The Rinspeed Scuba is the world's only diving car, capable of seamlessly driving from land to underwater.
The Scuba is the only real diving car in the world.
The Scuba might be the only one in the world, but the idea was first seen back on screen in 1977.
The idea suddenly came from this vehicle. We all know it from James Bond. It was fiction, it was Hollywood, it never really happened. So our claim was to put all that fiction into reality to build up the only real diving car in the world, which it's still today. And we made it happen.
Building such a unique vehicle required careful planning and engineering.
We built up our Scuba based on a Lotus Elise. We did not redesign the Elise, but the inside, all its technology has completely changed. Took out the internal combustion engine and replaced it with an electric one. In the original James Bond's movie, the car was closed, yet physically this is extremely difficult to do it in real life because it would mean to add a lot more weight to the vehicle, it would mean to add unsafety, so we decided to dive in the open, and that means that we have to have materials which dry off very quickly. The favorite feature of the Scuba certainly is the diving. It's the experience of floating underwater, going within the vehicle, and once you've done that, it's really out of this world and you cannot compare it to normal diving at all. As we dive in the open with the Scuba, we of course need not only material which dries off, but we also need connections to the compressed air for people to breathe. With my left hand, I control the props in the back. With my right hand, the power of the jets within the hood of the vehicle to propel water out in the back. And I also steer with that. And then the instrument to tell me all the status of the batteries, the depth, speed, and so forth. Here in the back we see the two propellers, and like a ship we can control going left or going right. Like James Bond has his fish, which he handed out after he resurfaced, we have our lobster, which we caught while diving. When we showed off the first time the Scuba, I mean, we were flooded by journalists.
Despite releasing this vehicle years ago, the car remains a one-of-a-kind.
We had a dozen of serious people interested in the vehicle, yet we declined the request because to build a car which can drive on the road, which is able to go in the water and to be exposed with corrosion is extremely complex. So we felt it's better not to duplicate and just keep it as a one-off vehicle. Would have been too much risk probably to scale the production up and have those cars out on the water someplace. The automotive industry is watching us very closely on what we do. They get many times inspired by our innovations and inventions.